My name is Georgia. When you see this video, I only have 3 weeks left in my life. 3 weeks ago, I was still a retail clerk. For the first half of my life, I spent 10 years in this kitchenware store. I have been selling cookware for 10 years and have heard customers complain that the prices are too high. But guess what? I don't even dare to eat much of the roast chicken I made myself. I save every penny and stuff it into the cookie jar. This notebook is covered with things I want to do, but dare not. Stay at a castle, hotel, in the Czech Republic, have French cuisine, and say to Sean on the next shelf, "Your apron is cute with flour on it." When the neighbor's kid helped me carry the grill, he teased me. So I only dared to have a brief communication with Sean under the pretext of shopping. Funny. I'm very brave when it comes to pursuing love, okay?
Maybe.
Look, I was wondering sometime if you're free. I thought maybe we could...
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'll get it.
You got it?
Oh, Georgia!
I really didn't expect that my first close encounter with Sean would be in such a situation. The doctor held my report form with a solemn expression. They said I had Lampington in my brain and would live for at most 3 weeks. I demanded to check again in disbelief, but the results still left me desperate. Do you know what the most absurd thing is? I have never taken sick leave in these years, but the medical insurance route cannot cover this illness. Go to his wait a moment. I want to book the air ticket right now. Today might be the craziest day of my life. No one might believe it. I took out all the money I had saved and decided to go to a small city to be a rich woman. But on my first flight, I was deliberately squeezed by the white people in the front row. I originally didn't want to hold it against him, but unexpectedly the other party said that it was I who insisted on opposing him. The flight attendant beside me, without distinguishing right from wrong, also persuaded me to make some space. Why? I spent money, but upon hearing this, I immediately became unhappy. Your airline deliberately designed the seats to be so crowded, wasn't it just to make more money? All the passengers around expressed their agreement, but only the chief flight attendant was unhappy. He wore a standard gentlemanly smile on his face, but the words that came out of his mouth were nothing like what a serving person could say.
Hi. Had you chosen to fly first class instead of economy, you would have had plenty of room in one of our cocoons.
How much is it?
Beg your pardon?
How much for the damn cocoon?
Right here.
Sure enough, spending more money makes a difference. Sitting in the soft and spacious first-class seat, even the flight attendant who had just ridiculed me now had a completely reversed attitude. But no one could have imagined that this extravagant trip would completely change my life. After having a full meal and drink, I walked out of the airport and found that there were many people in the waiting line for the bus. Many people were complaining that they didn't know how long the queue would last. I turned around and saw the sign on the wall. Sitting in the helicopter, the beautiful scenery of the city comes into full view. It's simply unimaginable that in just one day, I experienced something I had never experienced in the first half of my life. When flying above the hotel, I felt like a princess who had descended to the world. But as soon as I entered the hall, I was stunned instantly. These people are all Arab oil tycoons and social elites from all walks of life. Even the chairman of the group where I work went on vacation and had fun with his secretary. This old fellow enjoys the money earned by his employees, while I have been a kitchenware salesperson for 10 years and my salary has never increased by a penny. Every month with a fixed salary, I rack my brains to save money by using various coupons, just to save money to fulfill one's planned wish list. Just now, everything is different. The waiter politely took the luggage from my hand and inquired about my identity in a subtle way. Here, nobody knows me, so I can make things up with my eyes wide open. The girl at the front desk said apologetically to me that the room she booked hadn't been tidied up yet. Nowadays, only the presidential suite remains as an empty room, and the room rate is as high as $4,000 per night.
Did you see me blink?
I received considerate service and imitated the rich to tip, but as soon as he made a move, he scared the waiter to death. He looked at the banknote in his hand, then at me. In the end, he only accepted one banknote and returned the rest to me. Then, I slowly walked to the window and looked at the beautiful scenery outside. I felt that I only knew how to enjoy life when I was dying, remembering that my friend had said my dressing style was monotonous.
International.
I went to a clothing store and tried all the clothing styles I had never tried before. I began to crazily experience all kinds of peculiar care programs exclusive to the rich in the hotel. Hot compresses with pebbles larger than a head, skin care, and wrinkle reduction with electric shock sticks, and even massage with twigs. Although I don't quite understand this approach, who can fully comprehend the world of the rich? After getting dressed up, I went to the dinner party. The waiter didn't call me madam, but miss. Touching the soft cashmere shawl on my shoulder, I couldn't help but feel that it's true that clothes make the man. Many wealthy merchants watched me being surrounded and serving, and they all said that I was a rich man who was good friends with the parliamentarians. The waiter respectfully told me about tonight's menu, which all sounded very good.
Well, I guess I better try them all tonight then.
Toots? All?
Toot, baby. Toot sweet.
Compared to me, who didn't make any special requests for the chef's dishes, the rich people beside me seemed particularly picky. Chef Didier not only cooked for me himself, but also ignored the requests of the rich and received me personally.
You know where I come from? We do a barbecue quail with an andouille pudding.
We were like meeting close friends, chatting freely about our insights on delicious food. The chef told me his prank like a child.
You know how some people are about pose, fat.
Yeah. Chef Didier, you crazy.
Our laughter was noticed by the wealthy people beside us. The red wine they drank seemed to have turned into vinegar. When I was having a massage, that young secretary was also there. She was very dissatisfied with the masseur's massage and scolded her in front of so many people. I didn't like her attitude, maybe thinking that I was often bullied at work too. I stood up to speak up for the masseur.
I don't like the way you're talking to that woman.
I'm sorry if I disturbed you, Miss Bird. She was hurting me, though.
I don't care. You don't talk to working people that way. Now, it's plain to see what the problem is here. You got tension in your neck because you keep going down on Mr. Cragen, and he's a married man. At least this poor lady trying to work it out of here. Don't take it out on Brigitte.
Thank you.
Unexpectedly, the young secretary came to me and said that she firmly believed there was love between them. I smiled. A little girl's feelings are so easy to deceive.
I know you holding out some hope, but come on. They're never bad people. They're greedy people. They want a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of that, a little bit. They ain't leaving their wives. Yeah, you just need to leave him.
Because I had a very pleasant chat with the chef, I readily accepted the chef's invitation. I never expected that my personal charm would be so great. The wealthy merchants who used to follow Matthew are now all following me. Looking at a wealthy businessman with a table, I felt that this kid's blood pressure had risen. All these wealthy businessmen at the table wanted to know the secret of my success. If possible, I also want to tell them, let all the damn bosses who exploit their employees go to hell. Matthew came over and challenged me. I thought he would keep his cool all the time. He said he would take everyone to visit the glass factory. But obviously, everyone seemed more interested in my bungee jumping. The coach said that many people die from bungee jumping every year. Matthew backed off a little. But what am I afraid of? I'm not afraid of dying now.
Now watch it now! Ah! Ooh.
But what I didn't expect was that Miss Guntel, who had been very unkind to me before, hugged me and cried tonight. I guessed she might not want me to die here and affect her work. Unexpectedly,
don't worry. I'll be with you here to the very end.
I thought that as an ordinary person like me, no one would shed tears for me. But I never expected that in the final moments of my life, I would meet many kind people who would shed tears for me. I left a suicide note. Because of the avalanche, I couldn't leave this city. I thought, at the last moment of my life, I really had to stay here. If you can't say goodbye to the one you love in person, then you should do something meaningful. Matthew didn't give up investigating me as expected. He thought he was smart enough to expose my identity.
Mr. Cragen is right about me. I'm just a sales associate in one of his stores. One of the best. I didn't come here to give anybody the wrong impression about me. I just came here to blow every last cent of my money. You see, I'm gonna die. Asshole.
It's a very appropriate sentiment, darling.
I second that. Happy New Year, Matthew. Where are you going?
But in the end, a rich man who had never experienced setbacks handled difficulties in an even more extreme way than an ordinary person.
You don't have to be nice to me. I know I'm a jerk. You know, I know I'm a jerk.
Look, a guy like you has all the money and time in the world to turn things around for himself, you know? So just stop whining and get with it.
Get with what, exactly?
All I know is if you want somebody to care about you, stop trying to buy and sell them all the time. I had plans, you know.
Yeah? What were you gonna do?
At this point in our conversation, his thoughts of taking his own life completely vanished. Then he turned around and started to gossip about who my boyfriend was. Just as I was about to tell him, I heard Sean's voice. I thought my condition had worsened and I was starting to have auditory hallucinations. However, at Matthew's reminder, I discovered the man downstairs.
Wait, I'm coming! Georgia!
I kept asking him why he was here. At this moment, Sean expressed his true thoughts.
Georgia Bird, I want to be, whether it's for 5 minutes here on this ledge or 50 years.
I was happy to whisper to the rich man, but in the next second, I thought of the little life I had left and began to complain about the injustice of fate.
Now why you gonna send him all the way around here when you know I got it?
Just then, the butler also came out of the window. She brought a piece of good news. The fax sent by the doctor told me that I didn't have a terminal illness. It turned out that the hospital's equipment was malfunctioning. Whoever it was, they would have been diagnosed with the same disease.
You're going to live! We're gonna live!
Yes! Heaven played a huge joke on me. Not only did it return my life, it also sent the one I loved the most to my side. This journey to fulfill my dream undoubtedly made me the biggest winner. After that, we returned to the original city and opened our own restaurant together with Sean.